We've had a significant increase in call volume to our 911 center for EMS and fire-related calls. It's been overwhelming to the 911 system in general. So we'd ask our citizens to not call 911 unless you have a life-threatening emergency. So you have a medical condition, or you need to be evacuated from your home, or you have a fire. We'd ask that you guys not call 911 unless it is a life threat. We do have a website you could use. So it is mctxoem.org for general information, weather, traffic, conditions in your neighborhood. So that would be what we'd ask of our citizens. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah. Go for it.
Thank you all for being here today. My name is Mark Keough. I'm the county judge here in Montgomery County. Just kind of some general information of what's taken place. As you know, we've had an unprecedented amount of rainfall that was, for the most part, was pretty unexpected here towards the end. We talked a little while ago with the National Weather Service, who told us that in our county, especially over towards the east side of I-45, within the last 24 hours, we've had anywhere from 25 to 29 inches of rain within a 24-hour period. Now, we were expecting 4 to 6, kind of in the central area of the county, maybe 8 to 10 over in East County. So about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock this morning, it became an unprecedented event. And as you can see, I'm surrounded by our local officials, our professionals who have just from the very early hours this morning have been working on this. And so I'm going to turn bits of this over to each one of them, and then we'll come back for questions. First person is Miranda Haas, who is our senior planner and is involved in staging our resources. Miranda, why don't you come and share a little bit with us?
Thanks, Judge. It's H-A-H-S, Miranda Haas. Yeah, so we've been operating this morning in the Montgomery County EOC. We quickly changed our levels from just a monitoring stance to ramping all the way up to our EOC activated at a level 1, which is full response based on the rain that we received. We had some resources pre-staged around the county in our problem areas ahead of this. That was very helpful, and then we've been able to continue to send resources to the hardest hit areas, but these are the same areas, unfortunately, that we saw that flooded during Hurricane Harvey. So we were familiar with the streets and the areas that were going to be impacted, and we were able to make those requirements and get assets out there before the heaviest rains occurred.
What kind of assets?
So I'll let Kevin talk about all of the high water assets that we have.
Yeah, Kevin with our Fire Marshal's office. Kevin, why don't you come on up? Where you at? There you are. Come on up here and share with us a little bit what's going on there.
So we've got
Kevin
Bates, Kevinbates. We've got several high water rescue vehicles from all over Montgomery County and our surrounding areas. The state of Texas has brought in resources as well. Through the bulk of the incident, we've had 3 area of commands running, North Montgomery County, the Caney Creek area, and East Montgomery County. To our knowledge at this point, there's been over 400 water rescues affected. We have 3 shelters open where those victims are being taken till we can get them better facilitated.
Do you have the shelters? You have the senior center in East Montgomery County, but I think you have the one down on Glenlock, the St. Simon, St. Jude. Where's the third one?
It's on Wildwood over off of 1488.
And Bull Silas.
And then there's Bull Salis in East Montgomery County as well.
That was the senior center, right?
Yes.
Okay, that was the senior center.
Right.
I'm sorry, the third one was Wildwood?
Wildwood, which is off of 1488.
It's United Methodist Church.
United Methodist Church. Thank you, sir.
All right. Senator Crichton was going to be with us. He's coming back from Beaumont. He's stuck in, obviously, all the traffic and the rain. Representative Steve Toth represents our District 15. Steve, why don't you share a little bit about the state assets and what's been worked out this morning in our early conversations?
You bet. Thanks, Your Honor. I want to thank the governor for his quick deployment of the Texas State Guard and deep water assets. And as you've heard, there have been 400 water responses already. There will be 1,000 by the end of the day. And it's just an amazing job what our local officials have done through the leadership of Sheriff Rand Henderson and our county judge and the Commissioner's Court. You guys have just done an incredible job, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank each of you for all the hard work that you've done. And again, we have three different resources right now, shelters that will take folks in. But folks, once the water goes down, that's when the real work in the community of faith in Montgomery County is at its best, and after Harvey, it was weeks and weeks of helping folks that had been flooded out, and all of the churches that were so active in helping after Harvey are we're gonna need you again. So, thank you.
Thanks, Representative Toth. We also have with us Precinct 3 Commissioner Charlie Riley, and excuse me, Precinct 3, not Precinct 3, Precinct 2. And Commissioner Riley, why don't you come up and share with us? You were with us in the Harvey event. You were right in the middle of all that. Share with us a little bit about the difference between the two. Can you do that?
Thank you, Judge. I'm not so sure we can compare the two. I want to assure the folks over in East County, number one, that us over in West County are not sitting around doing nothing. We're prepared. We were prepared for it to happen to us. We were fortunate that it missed us, most of us, and we're going to be there to help you when this is all over. I want Commissioner Metz to know that all the commissioners' courts will be there with help. You know, with Harvey, we had a lot of rain all over the county. I would say over around my neck of the woods of Magnolia, we haven't had that much rain. But if we were to have the kind of rain we've had in East County, north of the lake, or on the other side of the lake, and all that water had to come through the lake, we would be releasing water from the lake. And we're not doing that now. So we were very fortunate that that didn't happen. Not saying that it has not been devastating over there on the east side of 45. But I'd want to assure everybody in Montgomery County that all the commissioners are ready to go. We're ready. I know Commissioner Metter's ready. I've talked to Commissioner Metter 3 or 4 times a day. I've talked to Commissioner Nowak about 3 times, and I've been on the phone all day with Commissioner Metz. So we stand ready to help each and every one of the citizens of Montgomery County when this thing blows through here, and we are able to do anything. But we will be there. We're ready to go. I want to assure everybody in Montgomery County that's how we are. So, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. We also have with us today the Matt Barrett, who is with the San Jacinto River Authority. There's been some question, as the Commissioner has just brought up, about the water, the height of the water in the dam and whatnot, what impact that is having. I'm going to ask Matt, who is with the San Jacinto River Authority. Matt Barrett, why don't you come on up, Matt, share with us a little bit about that, the level of the lake and what's going on.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon. Just give a little update on where we are with SGRA with the event. We have staff at Lake Conroe monitoring the situation in the reservoir very closely from an operations standpoint. We also have staff here at the Montgomery County EOC as well as the Harris County EOC, just to provide any support we can for our regional partners. Lake Conroe started the event about 27 inches below normal pool elevation of 201 feet above sea level, meaning we had a little over 2 feet of buffer before any water would need to be released from the lake. Thankfully, so far, there's been very little rain in the basin that drains into Lake Conroe as compared to the other areas in the region. We've seen some isolated areas of around 4 inches, but as a whole, on average, the basin's only seen about 1 inch of rainfall. So we're very thankful for that. As of right now, unless something drastic happens with the weather, we do not anticipate having to release water from the dam, especially within the next 12 to 24 hours. Of course, that could always change based on the weather, but right now the dam is closed, the gates are closed. There's no water flowing from Lake Conroe. The West Fork is anticipated to be in major flood stage, Highway 59 in Humboldt later today, but again, that water is not coming from Lake Conroe. That's all from other streams, tributaries, or rain that falls directly into the river. Yeah, that's where we are. Thank you. The West Fork, I don't know exactly what the number is on that. I just know major flood stage.
All right.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Sheriff Rand Henderson also is with us, and you know, the sheriff has a picture over the whole thing. And Sheriff, you've been at this early this morning. Why don't you come share with us some about our assets and some of the work that's been going on?
You bet. Thank you, Judge. Yeah, we've been at it since the rain event started. Of course, we had a late night as it was with a late call on a juvenile that had been missing. So we got her recovered, and as soon as that happened, then the heavy rain event started. So yeah, our guys are taxed, and it's running a little thin and tired right now, but we're doing really well. We've got about 65 to 67 calls holding right now that are weather related, but none of those are water rescues. We have a relationship with our communications with the hospital district and with the fire marshal service and the fire services throughout the county. So through that joint communication, all the water rescues are being dispatched over on the fire marshal side of things. So they're dispatching those out, and we're handling those jointly in a force multiplier approach with the fire services, with Texas Task Force 1, with the Sheriff's Office assets, Constable's assets. So we've all come together to get stronger and to address all these issues. As Representative Toth mentioned, there are about 400 water rescues that we're being asked to take care of, and we still have some of those holding, so we're still addressing that. But it appears that our assets are matching up with the response capabilities. Most of those water rescues are happening in southeast Montgomery County in the Porter area, and so that's where we have our assets either deployed or staged, and those assets would be boats as well as high water rescue vehicles. So although we have a lot to catch up with, our assets are ready and able, and I think we're doing a fantastic job. So hats off to all the first responders out there, doing a tremendous job. So with that, first responders that may be watching this broadcast, we are serving a hot free meal for everyone that's responding to the storm at the Fairground Convention Center, or excuse me, at the Fairgrounds Expo Center, starting at 4 o'clock today. So please come out and get a free meal on me. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Do you have a good list of road closures and all the people still? Because I know it kind of goes in pockets.
Yeah, we do. IT has been pushing those out, and we in turn have been pushing those out through the Sheriff's Office. You can also download the Sheriff's Office app. Road closers are found there. So they're readily available. All media outlets should be getting those pushes, and if you're not, we need to make sure you're getting them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sheriff. Montgomery County Hospital District Chief James Campbell is coordinating our evacuation of people with our medical issues. James, why don't you come on up and share with us a little bit about how that has taken place?
Sure. Thanks, Judge.
You betcha.
Just to echo what the sheriff said, we're working through our great partnerships with the fire department and law enforcement to work on the water rescues and evacuation that's taking place mostly in East County. So as residents get evacuated, they're often taken to central drop-off points within the county, and we have ambulance crews at the high-volume drop-off points to assess any residents that will have medical needs before they're transported to the shelters. We've seen since about the 2 o'clock hour about 300 total responses on our end for emergency medical services, a little over 400 calls coming in. Go ahead.
Since 2 p.m.
Since the start of the incident until I left at 2. So until then, most of the responses have been normal daily operation EMS medical complaints. We haven't really seen a spike in any medical incidents related to the weather or to the storm. As I left, we have not had any reported drownings, and that's where we're at, which we're thankful. I think that's everyone with a quick response working together to make sure that we're in the right place at the right time. Through our public health department, we work with the shelters in the area, and we provide MRCs, which are Medical Reserve Corps. They're volunteers who help provide medical care at the surrounding shelters. We have 2 MRCs in place now at one of the shelters. We're going to continue to work through the night. Our crews are working hard now. Fire, law enforcement, and EMS, whether they're cold or wet, they're going to keep pushing through the night. So that's where we're at now, and we'll see what happens for the next 12 hours.
All right. So you can see how we have combined our assets together with our people. I have to tell you, the professionalism and the experience that you have standing here before you is awesome. Now, we want to take a little bit of time for you to ask questions. There have been some questions that have been asked, but this is the group who can answer them. So do you have any questions that we can close with here? Yes.
Given the fact that this area has been through weather like this, how did this one take us by surprise?
I can go. Yeah. So
Yeah.
for us and working through the resources here at the Office of Emergency Management, we've been watching and tracking this since early in the week. We MCHD and everyone in the county have been meeting internally since early in the week, and we were just waiting for the event to happen, and then once it happens, we go into full force,
So we
ready
couldn't
to
have expected
respond.
this at all?
Say it again?
We couldn't have expected this at all?
Yeah, I think we planned for it.
Sure.
Throughout the year. Training, it's a history here of weather events, so we're prepared.
No, but I think Judge, you had said you guys were
Yeah.
expecting 4 to 6.
Yeah, we were expecting.
Central, maybe
Yeah.
8 to 10 on the east side.
That's right.
But you got 25 to 29.
Right.
Where was the information?
Well, it was the same place that you all get your information from. The fact of the matter is we had a turn of events in the middle of the night, and we had a high pressure area that began to push back against the storm as it was coming around on the clean side, turned into the dirty side. And the next thing you know, it's over in East County, and it's pouring water on us. When I left here last night, I even said, hey, now I can go home and sleep tonight, right? And they said, oh, yeah. Next thing I know, I'm looking at my telephone at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've got text messages and up and running up here. So it's really, this is Texas weather coming off the Gulf, and it's just kind of amazing. But Commissioner Riley, why don't you share, because you've seen this before.
I don't think there's getting caught by surprise. I don't think is the quite the right terminology. We've been preparing over in Precinct 2 for 3 days, and it missed us. I know good and well that Commissioner Metz has been preparing for this, and I know Commissioner Meadows has been preparing for it. I know we've all been preparing for it. You never know where it's going to hit. It rained 29 inches in Porter and New Caney. We're lucky if we got 1.5 inches in Magnolia. We were expecting that same thing they got. We didn't get it. So getting caught by surprise, that's you never know where it's going to rain. You can look at all the radars. You can look at all the technology you want to. It's going to rain where it wants to. It's not going to follow that radar.
Do you have an estimate on maybe homes or businesses that have had water in them yet?
Not yet, but we do know that there are homes that have water and businesses that have had, and we've done rescues as well. So we're waiting, that's all to be hashed out. Other questions?
Any idea when estimates on when the water's finally going to go down?
Within the next few days, is the best I can do. But that being said, Sheriff, you're on top of this.
Well, if there's no further rains, we're already seeing some of the watersheds drop, or actually some of the levels in the streets drop. Now some of the watersheds are rising, so that is problematic. So we're going to have to monitor that closely. So it just depends on if we continue to get more rain. I mean, some of these bands may pop back up and surprise us. We're just not really sure. But whatever happens, we'll be there to address it and monitor it from the field and report back to the EOC as what we're experiencing in the field.
Can you tell us the status of schools for tomorrow?
Yes, I can. As you know, today we had most of the schools that were closed. Conroe Independent School District, Splendora, New Caney, Willis, they were all closed. Tomorrow, we're still waiting to hear from Conroe Independent School District. Don't know. Especially as the water has subsided. We got the dry side coming this way, but Splendora, Willis, and New Caney are going to be closed tomorrow. We know that for sure. I did talk to Curtis Knoll a little while ago, the superintendent. He's in conversation right now with some of the individuals have to do with Harris County, because that's going to impact as the water goes south into the South County and over into the east. That impacts Conroe Independent School District. So we're still waiting on that.
Any schools damaged that you know of?
I'm sorry?
Any schools damaged that you know of? Any water, any schools or anything?
Yeah, Caney Creek
No.
High School.
Caney Creek.
Caney Creek High School.
Okay. Got that, Miranda? Why don't you come on up here, if you would please make comment on that.
Yeah, so Caney Creek High School, we do know took on some water, and then we've had other smaller smaller amounts of water that are not hugely impactful into schools and school buildings and office buildings. And I know in New Caney ISD, their admin building had water in that building as well. So
Caney Creek, do you know how much?
we don't know the levels yet, but we can get that by the next update. But yes, like the Commissioner was saying, as the waters begin to recede, now is the time that we start doing damage assessments. So now that stuff's going down, we'll be able to start knowing what does our damage look like, how bad is bad. So what was impacted, schools, roadways, now that the water's gone, what do the roads look like underneath of that water, what do the homes and businesses look like. So we'll begin gathering that information into the next operational period.
All right. We appreciate you all coming. Yes, one last question.
No, I don't have a question. I just have a statement that Congressman Brady sends on my behalf. Wanted to tell you thank you to the governor for declaring an emergency, and obviously he will be here for assistance. He
Yes.
and so we'll be waiting.
Thank you.
Obviously to send his help. So he can't be here, but he does.
Right.
send
Yeah,
his
he
help.
wanted to be. I appreciate that so much.
So
Thank
I
you.
do want you to know that I'm here on his behalf. And
Thank you.
He did want to say thank you for everything that you guys are doing. So
Good deal.
he did. I have it right here. So
Appreciate
I
you.
just wanna say yes.
Thanks.
So.
Thank you all very much for being here. We appreciate it so much.